Hi, so welcome to Golf FM. This is just a quick run through of the new QI HL, the high launch edition of the QI iron that Taylormade launched this year. I wanted to see how this performs against the standard QI. Taylormade last year run a Stealth HD model which looked really peculiar, if I'm being kind. It was a model that performed really well but just looked a little bit odd. And this QI is almost exactly the same looking as the standard QI, but it's a different loft and it's pitched at the high launch market. So it's pitched at people who struggle to hit the ball up in the air, or maybe don't have a lot of distance and can't handle the strong lofts in the standard QI model. And I just wanted to see how it performs against the standard one and give you an idea, if you're half thinking about the new QI, whether you will be in the high launch camp or maybe you're just in the standard model. In terms of looks, there's virtually no difference between the two models. So you've got the HL and the QI, and the only difference is the HL badging that I can see. So in terms of looks, there's just nothing to go on. Top line looks the same, back looks the same, everything looks the same. And when you read into the detail on the Taylormade website, there doesn't actually seem to be a lot going on in the HL other than the loft. The loft is 30 degrees on the HL and 28 degrees on the standard model. So it should go higher just from that. The other thing they've done is they've put a load of shafts which kick the ball up into the air a little bit more, softer shafts that are designed to go alongside this iron and help the golfer who needs the ball to go up in the air. Now I'm just going to be hitting these clubs with a shaft that kind of suits me. So that is the Dynamic Gold Mid 115 in stiff. So it's a fairly standard shaft and pretty close to the one I use. As I say, when you put them down, there isn't a lot of difference, but I can tell which is which. And that is just from the loft angle. You can see visibly that there looks like there's more loft on the HL. Yeah, that's the HL. So that's the first point, but after that, it's an identical club head. There's lots of good stuff going on these. I've done other videos on them. Internally, there's materials in there that help this club feel better off the face, so feel a little bit softer. It's got the speed slot, which gives on thin hits and gives you more ball speed. It's got a very thin face. It's got weighting, which varies between the clubs and is positioned for where you need it more on the longer irons and where you need it on the shorter irons. So it's a very complex club. There's a lot of technology gone into this, but I'm mainly focusing on what is the difference between the two models when you hit them back to back. So I'm going to hit them and try and get roughly 10 of each, decent ones, decent strikes, and compare the data. As I say, no difference visibly other than slightly more loft on this. It's an okay strike, and we've got 188 and 203. This is definitely the HL, yeah. That's long for a 30 degree club. That is really long. 4.7 spin is still quite low, but descent angle's 46, so that's not too bad. Similar strike seemed like. Feels a little bit hard today. I haven't really noticed that in the past. But maybe those strikes weren't 100%, but then look at that distance. 187 in the air, 203. 4.3 spin, so really low again. But the height is decent and the descent angle is 45. Passable. Maybe not quite as good a strike. Oh, nowhere near as good a strike, 176. Leave it in because the first two were really good. Well, really long anyway. Didn't feel completely flush. Yeah, reasonable strike. 180, 195, spin 4.6. Descent angle 44, so a wee bit runny on landing potentially. Left it out to the right. I'm trying to see what that does. Still pretty strong distance, 181, 4.5 spin. Yeah, passable strike again, not absolutely flushed. Again, 177, 193, 4.3 spin. Yeah, it was a wee bit scrappy, the strike, that one. Feeling a little bit loud today, but I'm not quite middling it. God, it's a good distance for not quite middling it. 189 in the air, 206. These are really strong clubs still, even with 30 degrees. Yeah, reasonable. 182, 198, 4.3 spin. So something that's supposed to spin it up more. I mean, I'm quite a low spin player, to be honest, but I thought maybe the high launch might be spinning a wee bit more than this. That That's a better strike. That might spin a wee bit more. I think I've kind of been hitting them in a bit of a low spinny way. You know, what's that, 184 and the spin was 4694, so it's a bit better, yeah. So it's maybe not too far away what I'm doing. Okay, so the QI standard now, same shaft. Yeah, immediately looks a little bit stronger lofted. Reasonable strike, I think. Similar to what I was doing before, and that has gone 185 in there, 202. What's the spin? 4.3. Well, this should really be going further, but maybe I didn't quite get that one. That's a better strike, probably gone left a bit, yeah. 187, 203, spin 4.2, so the spins both times has been on the low side, lower than the other one. Yeah, back to hitting it okay, but nothing special. Reasonably straight, not too bad. 190 in there, 206, and 4.5 spin. So that's gone a little bit further. Maybe a bit of a toe strike, but reasonably good. 182, 197. Yeah, I didn't think the strike was quite there. 4.5 spin. Good for a miss hit. They are very forgiving, these. I think it was okay. Nothing amazing. 183 in there, 199. Spin 4.3, so pretty good, but not massively different from the other one. That's a better strike, I think. Not out to the right, but a good strike. Yeah, 185, 201, 4.6 spin. They are slightly right biased in terms of trying to stop you hitting it right, the weighting generally. I don't notice them being strongly trying to go left. 186, 4.4 over the 200 mark in terms of all. Yeah, I thought it was alright. 184, 199. The thing that I'm amazed about is there's not more of a difference. Good strike, I think. A bit to the right, but it's not that bad. 188, 204, did go quite far. 4.3 in the spin. So one more, good one, decent one. I think it was alright. I don't think it was my best, but it's okay. Yeah, 185 in the air, 200. Okay, so let's have a look at the figures. So the ball speed 122 on the HL, 124 on the standard club, so that's probably expected. The spin on the HL is 4.6 as opposed to 4.4 on the standard one, so again, as probably would be expected, quite close, but as you would expect. Carry 182 to 186 from HL 182 and standard 186, so 4 yards for 2 degrees, probably about right, and total distance 197 to 201. Descent angle, another important one, 44 on the HL to 43, both quite low actually. Don't know that I was hitting them absolutely as flush as I would like. I was kind of hitting them a wee bit clean sometimes, so I think you could get better descent angles in this. What that shows to me is that the HL is doing what it should do, but I'm amazed actually at how close it is, because when you consider 2 degrees, I would have thought you'd have seen almost a little bit more of a gap. It almost felt for a while when I was hitting it that it was just virtually the same as the standard one. The standard one did start to creep a little bit further, but make no bones about it, the HL is still a very powerful club, and if you're a bit worried about the 28 degree loft being a little bit severe for you, then I think that the HL is a valid option, and I don't think you're going to see much of a detriment, especially if you've got a lack of club head speed or you hit the ball really low anyway. You're going to see a benefit from it because it's just going to help get that ball a little bit more up in the air. Because 28 degrees sometimes is a bit severe for some people. So there it is, fairly quick review for me, not bad, one of my quickest ones. HL does what it's meant to do, does go a little bit higher, will suit people with a little bit less club head speed and need to get the ball up in the air, but is still a very, very powerful club. So don't think just because it says HL that somehow it's not going to go very far, because this is a seriously strong iron, this HL. And the obvious thing for me to do now is do a quick test at some point on the HD, so the old Stealth HD, and just see how the HL compares to that, which has got a little bit more of an extreme look to it than certainly this does. So yeah, highly recommendable, both irons, but don't discount the HL. Have a hit with it, have a try with it, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. Very, very strong club. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Once again, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and like. Thanks again. See you in the next one.